Hi, ladies. This is Lisa Shaw with LisaShawCares.com. I'm just going to take a moment of your time. Okay, maybe 10 minutes. Can I have 10 minutes? Thank you. I know that you ladies have been engaging those 7 critical areas that I outlined for you in the downloadable title, What to Do in the Fear of Failure Invades the Life That You Envision. Invades is a strong word. And I intentionally use that word because fear does invade. It's not polite. Fear doesn't ask permission to mess with you, right? Fear doesn't ask permission to hinder you, to grip you, to cause you not to move forward. Fear doesn't ask for permission to do that. Fear invades. It just comes on in, right? Makes itself comfortable when it was totally uninvited. And so I wanted to talk to you about a question that I received through email from one of the women that's engaging the materials. I was so happy to get this question because I think it's so important. And she asked me, she shared some things with me that were confidential. And then it sparked a question for her. What if I'm projecting the fear of failure onto my own daughter? And I think that that is a very good question for us to ask ourselves. And not a question that we should ask ourselves in a condemning way, and not a question that we should ask ourselves in fear, like, have I projected fear on my own children? But it is a question that we need to ask ourselves, because if fear has been a consistent part of your life as it used to be mine, coming out of being abused in my childhood, I made a lot of fear-based decisions in my teenage years, in my young adult, and even early adult years, until I understood that God said, "Fear not, for I'm with you, and I will uphold you with my righteous right hand," until I learned that He was my refuge and my strength, an ever-present help in times of trouble, until I really understood that I could do all things through Christ who strengthens me, and what that actually meant in practical terms, how I could lean on Him and accomplish those things which I've been purposed to accomplish, and you can too. And so once I got that, and it wasn't I wish I could say it was just like that. It was a journey, it was a process. And I still today have to remind myself when fear crops up and says, "You can't do that. You know you can't do that. You shouldn't be doing that. You certainly shouldn't be doing that now. How old are you?" Okay, leave that for the youngins. And so there are times when fear says that to me, or fear will say, "Is anybody going to engage that? Is anybody going to care about what you're offering?" Come on, we all deal with the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of disappointment, the fear of the unknown. Talk about that, all of those types of fear in my book, No Fear, Fear Will Grip You or Grow You. But back to what I'm saying. When my reader asks me, what if I'm projecting my fears on my daughter? The first thing that I thought of was, our children, whether they are young teenagers or adult, they listen to what we're saying, but they also watch what we're doing, because we lead by example, right? And so if our daughters are hearing us say to them, "You can do anything that you put your mind to. You can do it. Don't be afraid. Go for it." They're hearing us say that. But then if they're seeing us say things over ourselves, like, "Oh gosh, I can't do that. No, I'm not even going to try. I'm too scared. Well, what if that fails? I don't think I want to step out into that, because what if that doesn't work out?" And so if they're hearing us tell them, we're cheering them on, "Come on, girl, you can do this thing." But then with ourselves, they see us operating in fear. What's the message we're giving? The message we're probably giving is, do as I say, not as I do. Or maybe the message we're giving is, I believe in you, but I don't believe in myself. If you have an adult daughter and even a teenage daughter, have a conversation. If you know how fear has affected your life, have a conversation with your daughter or daughters or your granddaughter. Sit down and engage the conversation. Find out, what do they think about fear or fear of failure. Ask them even what they may have learned from you. Don't be afraid to ask those difficult questions. I have conversations with my daughters all the time, even though they're grown women. I ask them, when y'all were coming up, did you think this or that? Did I make you feel this way or that way? Or what was the image that I gave to you? What did you learn from me? How did I make you feel in that situation? It's good to have those types of conversations if you can. But I also want to say, and yes, this is video, but it's still being recorded in a live setting. So you will hear my dogs greeting you in the background. But I want to leave you with this. No condemnation. I don't want you to beat yourself up. I don't want you to say, oh my gosh, I was a horrible mother, or, I've taught my children fear. Don't do that. Just as I told my reader who was corresponding with me through email, don't beat yourself up for the areas where you weren't operating in perfection, because the reality is none of us are perfect. And what I discovered a long time ago is that our lives are never about perfection. It's about purpose. Come on over to lisashawcares.com and engage with me further. I'm excited to share another question with you and answer with you next week. And I'm excited about coming to you shortly with a PowerPoint where we are going to dive into those 7 critical areas that you have been going through the last couple of weeks. So stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. Thank you for the opportunity to serve you. God bless.